Hey guys, it's good to see you. My name is Dallas Woodhouse, and I'm the State Director of Americans for Prosperity. It's good to be out here today. So glad to be out here. Sorry for a little bit of the confusion, but Moore County is responding. Moore County's responding because they don't want big government health care, I think. Now, my name is Dallas Woodhouse, and I'm the State Director of Americans for Prosperity, and what day is it?
Thursday.
Have mercy. It's Thursday. We started on Sunday. We've been to Albemarle. No, we didn't go to Albemarle. We went to Hendersonville. We went to Salisbury. Been to Asheville. But I tell you what, nothing could be finer than to be in Southern Pines right now. And I want to thank you good folks. You've always been supportive of Americans for Prosperity and what we've tried to do. And what we try to do is limited government and free markets. And we have the battle of our lives in front of us right now with this health care bill. It's not enough that the government has wanted to take over the banks, the insurance companies, the auto companies. Now they want to take over all of health care. They literally want the decision-making powers of who gets life-saving treatments and who doesn't. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any Washington bureaucrat deciding what I am worth. Some of the most disturbing parts of this plan, well, let's think about this plan. It's got the public option in it. You've heard of the public option? Let's think about this. The people who support this say it'll be competition to the insurance companies, to private insurance. Keep them honest. Yeah, because government is so honest. But let's think about this competition, how it would work. Government sets all the rules. Government taxes private insurance to death. Government creates all the incentives. Government regulates private insurance out of business. Calling that a fair fight is like telling George Foreman to put on a pair of boxing gloves and go into the ring with a guy who's got a machete and a bazooka. I mean, it's not even close to a fair fight.
They don't even have to make a profit.
They don't even have to make a profit. And that's the other part. They can just dip down way into the U.S. Treasury via the taxpayer to fund their program and run out all the competition. And that's really what this public option is all about. I want you to think about this. How are they going to pay for it, right? Isn't that really what we want to know? How are they going to pay for it? Well, they're going to tax the rich. Didn't y'all know that? Well, I want y'all to do a favor for me. I want y'all to do something for me. I always got to turn around because I don't do good. Okay, left. Okay. I want you to look to your left. And I want you to turn around and look to your right. My folks, you've seen the rich. You have seen the rich today. Those are the folks that they want to tax. That's right, this lady says right here, I ought to be doing better to be rich. It's not really rich. It's what the government thinks rich, and that's just because you're the taxpayers, and they're coming after each and every one of you.
You earned a living.
Now, that's right, you've earned a living. Now, number two way they're going to pay for this. This is my favorite. They're going to, I cannot even say this with a straight face. They're going to cut all the fraud, waste, and abuse out of Medicare and Medicaid. Y'all heard that? I got an idea for them. Why don't they do that right now? Let's do it right now. But what I'm afraid of is that fraud, waste, and abuse they are talking about. It's not the fraud, waste, and abuse. I think like those bureaucrats sitting up in some ivory tower on K Street in Washington. That's the kind of fraud, waste, and abuse I think of. I'm concerned that the fraud, waste, and abuse they think about are sick and old people. That's what I'm afraid of. You know, as late as 2007, the president was supporting a single-payer Canadian-style system. Well, let's think about that. Recently, a man in Canada was denied a hip replacement surgery, okay? The Canadian government said, look, man, you're too old to justify the expense. You just need to wear a brace for the rest of your life. Folks, he was 57 years old. Now, I know there's probably a couple people reaching beyond 57 right here. I venture to bet there's a few people that have had a hip replacement above 57 in this crowd. But that's the way it does. And it's not just Canada and Britain and France and Denmark and all these other places where people talk funny. It's America, too. The state of Oregon has a big government status-style program that they've tried to dump everybody into like Massachusetts, Taxachusetts, however you want to do it. So in the state of Oregon, they also have a law. I think it's an unwise law allowing for physician-assisted suicide. Okay. So the state of Oregon, there's a woman named Barbara Wagner. Barbara came down with a rather obscure type of cancer. And if you don't know Barbara Wagner's story, Google it. You can read it. You can watch it on YouTube, on the local news channel out there. The state of Oregon sent Barbara Wagner a letter. And they said, look, this drugs you want to take to try to live longer, that's too expensive. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll send you drugs to help you end your own life. It can happen here too. It can happen right here in Southern Pines. The reality, the only way government can control cost, the only way, is denying people critical treatments. They do that based on when they think it's too expensive for the government to bear. When it costs too much for the government to bear. It is a government-first mentality that has absolutely no place in the United States of America. That's why we're out here today, to try to send a clear and simple message to your member of Congress. And I know some of you down here are represented by Howard Coble. He was at an event with us the other day, and I think he's got some good religion on this issue. I think he's right with us. If you're represented by somebody else, you probably want to give him a call. If you're represented by Mike McIntyre, let's give him a call. The person I really want you to call is Senator Kay Hagan. And back here on the desk, you have some call sheets that have her number on it, her Greensboro number, her Raleigh number, and her Washington number. And look, I know it's tough to get through. I know it's hard to get somebody on the phone. I know all that. But you just got to keep doing it. And matter of fact, I see some young people out here. I'm sure they can help you with your cell phone if you've got one today. Take out your cell phone, program in Kay Hagan's number. Matter of fact, set you an alarm tomorrow. Skip the tea time just a little bit tomorrow. For y'all are going to play. I wish I could play 9 today. Set that clock to go off at 10 a.m. in the morning and remind you to call Kay Hagan. And maybe the next day, and the next day. And keep calling till you get through. Kay Hagan has expressed some real concerns about a public plan. I hope you will call her and tell her she's right to express a concern about it. So I hope you'll keep calling her. I want you to do 3 things tonight when you go home. Number 1, I want you to sign our petition. Very important. Number 2, I want you to make sure you program those numbers in your cell phone and you call Kay Hagan and your member of Congress. Number 3, on the signs, on the fans, back here on the back of the bus, there's a moniker. It says, Join Patients First. I want you to go home. That's our petition, and it's on email. I want you to go home. Go into your personal email addresses, write a little note to your friends why you were here today, why you thought this was important. And I want you to send it out with that link, asking all your friends to sign that petition. I don't care whether they live in Southern Pines or Aberdeen or anywhere in the United States. I want you to ask them to sign it because it's very important. Can you all do those 3 things for me before you leave today? Wait a minute, that ain't good enough. Can everybody do those 3 things before you leave today? All right.